Chapter 6. So, chaos is the force that was once the source of our life in our ether, previously seared inside the soul of Zeta Galaxia, who became a murderous despot bent on universal domination as a result of its influence. You liberated Galaxia, and chaos was restored back in the minds of the living, where it belonged. Wonder Woman slowly mulled it over, rubbing her chin. Yeah, Isagi cried. It was what she had said, only in bigger words. Poison must have picked up the energy released by such an action with the scanners. She was able to harness that energy and capture it. Now she's using the power of chaos to change reality and affect others. Because it had always been chaos's power to take the slightest subconscious resentment and turn it into an amplified, unalterable murderous belief that becomes complete reality. But she needs to feed chaos star seeds, and most of all your Zeta Crystal to truly realize reality. Yes! This is getting a bit too complicated for Usagi. That explains the creatures and the substance that they are made of, and how poison could counter my lasso. Chaos and a power beyond truth. That is the source of both truth and lies. Diana brought her fist on her open hand. Yes, Usagi bowed her head, and I laid it out. No, you did the right thing. You saved a tormented woman, and you saved the universe. There will always be corruption in the world, as there should be. Where there is life and love, there is death and hate. We wouldn't really value the precious beauty of one if the other did not exist. Diana's words were warm, like a hug from one of Usagi's friends. She always knew what to say. Your heart, your crystal, beat chaos once. Diana tapped Usagi's brooch. I'm certain they could do it again. You purified those dark creatures of its light, didn't you? Also allowed me to subdue the woman with that power. But the only reason I could do it was because you guarded and kept him from killing me while I used my power. That's what makes us a good team. Diana took Usagi's hand. Come, we'll defeat chaos and rescue your loved ones. She scooped Usagi up in her arms once more, and they took off into the air, Sarah was screaming at the top of her lungs. They were at Poison's base in no time. Diana tracking the signal for the communicator she had given Jupiter. Some of the creatures guarded the entrance to the lab. Shall we do our double TR election once more? Diana grinned. Yeah! Usagi grinned back. Back at the fight, Wonder Woman had delivered Tiara directly to a creature's mouth and out the other side, by setting it in a way that could only have followed where the it actually bled. Unconsciously, Usagi had reached for her own tiara and pure nostalgia. Her gloved fingers tapped the moon on her forehead, and suddenly her tiara appeared. Apparently, Eternal Sailor Moon wasn't limited in any way. She could still have a tiara attack if she wanted. The two women threw their tiaras simultaneously, successfully slicing through the creatures. They boomeranged back to their original owners. The two heroes stormed in to find Dr. Poison politely waiting with her hands behind her back. The room she stood in was entirely consumed by a pulsing black that was neither liquid or solid, that seemed both dead and alive. The Sailor Senshi, Tuxedo Common, and Steve Trevor were firmly entrenched in the stuff. Black hands were clamped firmly around their ankles and wrists, and one snake-like limb had plunged directly into their chests. Their skin was cray and clammy looking, eyes glowed a dull red, and they all looked barely conscious. However, as soon as Usagi entered the room, the eyes of all the girls, as well as Mamoru's, widened. And they all began to struggle. What are you doing here? Minako and Michiru shouted in unison. Get out! This is a trap, you idiot! Rage reigned. How could you bring her? Irina snarled at Wonder Woman. I asked you to protect her. Not, Mamoru groaned, but Steve cut him off. Good timing. Glad you could make it. Usagi felt like her own heart being strangled by those awful hands, seeing the people she loved in pain at what she was facing. But she managed to keep the tears back, just barely. Mina, hang in there, she said. Taking a deep breath, she turned to Dr. Poison and pointed at her in dire malediction. Really think you could control chaos, trying to infect beautiful millions with its dark power? Manipulate the minds of the people and the forces of truth, Diana added, flawlessly picking up the routine when Usagi paused for her. Diana, what are you two doing? Steve irritated tentatively. What are you talking about? Don't you have any idea how anything works? Mamoru snapped down. Of course I know how things work. What is this, a cultural thing or something? It's a matter of tradition and honor. It's... So they're planning on talking her to death or kidnapping the most handsome man in the world. Yasaki talked over them. Is she talking about me? Steve asked. Okay, this is a good speech. I like it then. She's not talking about you, Mama snarled. Well, someone could see it. As well as our true friends! Yasaki raised her voice louder to drown them out. We won't forgive you! She reached up and then crossed her arms. I am Bisoso Sensi! I no Seki! Sailor Moon! And I am the endless setting of tooth, Wonder Woman! Diana continued contentiously. Oshioki! Oshiokia! Those Japanese lessons have been paying off! Thank you! Look, when you listen to Sailor Moon in Japanese as many times as I have, you kind of pick that up. Oh god, the music was actually starting to play, folks. Dr. Poison clapped politely in response. Oh, it's good to be home. I heard about this routine. You just don't get this sort of thing much in the States. No sense of style. It's all silly one-liners. Hey, let's get something straight here, honey. Those one-liners fit well for the Marvel Universe. Not to mention, these one-liners are perfectly fine, apparently, in action movies where, we could see some guy stabbing, say his ultimate enemy, go, blow off some steam, Bennett. But apparently, nowadays, if we were to say, have some other person say, blow off some steam, we'll hear a bunch of people go, hey, that was a dramatic ending. You shouldn't say that. And I know what some people are going to go, well, it's different nowadays. Nowadays, you've had that influence. I don't care. It doesn't matter. You are changing the past. Either way, you would still be upset. Admit it. So, yeah, those one-liners are awesome. Oh, you're talking about your in-universe one-liners. My apologies. I've got a lot of aggression to work out on. Proceed. And to have Wonder Woman join in. Nevertheless, her glasses seemed to shine eerily opaque, like they were looking into empty, glowing eye sockets. We've had our fun, so shall we get down to business? She wagged her fingers. Yusagi reached for her staff and went over her lasso. As always, there's my hostages to consider. I'm afraid they're not feeling their best. Then again, you shouldn't be feeling great right now either. The world lurched around Yusagi, like she was choking on a black cloud, as if there was something cold crawling up her flesh. She stumbled and screamed. Beside her, she could see Wonder Woman was grave-faced and unbalanced as well. Ah! Poison said happily. My timing is perfect as always. You see, because of your respective powers, the forces of truth and purity, as gods and queen giving gifts and all that nonsense, I knew it would take some time for the infection to set in. But one would have to be perfect to be touched by chaos as many times as you have and not feel some effect. Poison took a step towards the two women, fell to their knees. Yusagi felt like her head had been filled with noxious gas. Poison's wide grin was all she could see, looming in and out of focus. And we know no matter how much you two act like you are, neither of you is close to perfect. You clearly don't know Sailor Moon very well, Ray shouted, struggling against her bonds. No one who knows her would say even acts like she's perfect, but she's fine the way she is, so you keep your hands off her! Reach on. Yusagi smiled weakly. She tried, but couldn't lift her head to meet her friend's eyes. It was like she was drowning. Her entire body, weighted down by rocks, dragged her deeper and deeper down. She could feel poison disturbing the water as she approached. A sea monster hungry for food. Well, who knows? It's possible that Sailor Moon can at least fight this off, since she's tamed chaos before. But before that happens, I'll take her little crystal. Chaos was kind enough to let me know she's nothing without it. And Chaos really is fond of it. Diana, get up! Steve yelled at his friend. Come on, show this crackpot. But Steve's Wonder Woman was incapacitated as Usagi. Diana-san! Makoto screamed. Don't let her hurt Usagi-chan! You both can fight this! I know you can! Usagi-chan! I'll never forgive you if she dies. Fight back, Bud's head. Yasuko, get out of here! Usagi couldn't move. He couldn't move. Chaos had taken over Galaxia, the strongest sentient in the universe. Of course he was losing. Mina! Minako's voice cut through the hubbub. You know what to do! Usagi could firmly see the other sentient nodding and closing eyes. Symbols on their forehead glowed. Mamoru's starsheet pulsed a little too. A warm golden light. Usagi could feel the warmth of her friend's power burn to the darkness beside her. As always, her friends were lending their strength. Poison recoiled as if the crystal she was trying to draw had burned her. Stop it! She snarled. If you don't stop it, I'll kill all of you with the infection itself. I'll start with Sailor Moon. I don't think so. Otaru's Saturn symbol glowed brighter and brighter, summoning her glaive to her hand. It could slice easily through the chaos that bound her. Through the hand it embedded in Hotaru's chest stayed, refusing to be cut. Hotaru stood up anyway, pointing her weapon at Poison. Release her and the others from the infection, or I will erase you from this world, along with myself. Not this again. Hotaru-chan, Usagi said weakly. Don't be hasty, Hotaru-chan, Pluto snapped. I won't, of course, Poison said, meeting the soldier to strike his eyes levelly. You're so eager to kill yourself. I can promise the infection will have eaten you alive before you go to that glaive. We'll see about that. Otaru raised her glaive, and the world glowed cold and quiet. Poison's eyes widened. Usagi screamed, but nobody could hear her. Silence consumed them all. A bundle of pink fell from the sky out of thin air, flying Otaru, knocking the glaive out of her hand and spinning across the room. Sound slowly returned to the world again, as evidenced by Hotaru's ears-playing yelp. I just want to take him! Chibiusa released her bear hug on Saturn and got up, dusting herself off. Chibiusa-chan? Otaru started up at her, unlikely to interrupt her. Sailor Chibi Moon smiled brightly and offered her friend a hand. Otaru took it, eyes dull with surprise, but got up. Seriously, I can't leave you alone for a second. Just once I'll say it again. You shouldn't do that. You should believe in Sailor Moon. I'm gonna be Sailor Moon someday. I'll need you to help me again. So you can't go all sensitive silence every time things get tricky. Chibiusa! Usagi couldn't decide whether she was terrified or elated that her future daughter had entered the fight. But Chibiusa smiled at her too. Looks like you can't do anything without me as usual, Usagi. Good thing I was able to convince Mama I could help out with this one when y'all felt chaos affecting everything. As usual, my arrival so timely, and I brought some help. Sarah Mercury burst in the room, followed by Professor Tomoe holding the purple ray. Apparently Ami had been able to heal him. Mercury! Aquabricity! Ami screamed, and Poison had to dive out of the way of a rush of freezing water. While the doctor was distracted, her former colleague bent over Sailor Moon and Wonder Woman, letting the light of the purple ray wash over them. Usagi felt like Chaos's icy grip on her heart was melting. Think! Digging heart attack! Chibiusa screamed. Poison was knocked across the room. Mercury raised her arms to deliver the final blow, but suddenly the blackness in the room erupted. A black bolt shattered the purple ray in Tomoe's hands, and the explosion sent the doctor flying back. Mercury and Chibi Moon were flown through the air violently. Chibiusa was only saved from having her head split open by Mamoru and Steve, making a unified effort against their bonds to grab her when she flew by them. Mercury had the presence of mind to roll to avoid hitting her head, but her shoulder hit the wall with a sickening crack as he slid to the floor unconscious from the pain, and a black limb wrapped her up. Ataru was sinking into the blackness, eyes rolled back in her head. Poison froze, but she was no longer the same. She too had gray skin and red eyes. The instruments keeping her face in its wretched sizzle, and melted, and her grin continued into a snarl. When she spoke, it was not with her own voice, but one that rolled like thunder. I have had enough with puppets and pawns! Usagi felt frozen. It's like she was looking into the eyes of Galaxia again. Because this was a woman utterly consumed by chaos. not even a person anymore. So utterly sane, she felt unsure at what time or place she was in. She felt like she was back there, overlooking the destroyed city with everyone dead. Wonder Woman put a warm hand on her shoulder, pulled her up, bringing her back to the present. And he said the purple reindeer were both healed, but the danger was greater than ever. You give the crystal to me now, Chaos spoke through poison, or I will kill everyone you love. You won't be able to stop me in time. If you don't believe I'm serious, look to your daughter. Usagi's heart seized up, and once he did, once again, Chibi Yuzo was phasing in and out of focus. Insubstantial in Mamoru's limp arms. He was slumped over her, no longer conscious, his lips blue and skin paper white. His starseed had been yanked out of his chest, hovering in the air just close enough to keep him from death. The other Senshi were in a similar state. Usagi had never been a good hero. In a sense, that even when she knew it was stupid, she couldn't gamble with her friends' lives. People in pain was not something she could watch or handle. Wonder Woman, To her surprise, Diana nodded, giving her a kind smile. Go ahead and do it. But as soon as you do, you have to do something for me. And I promise everyone will be safe. She'll be dead, you fool. She won't do anything for you. The silver crystal is all she is. No light of hope to save her now. Oh, slipped into my Discord live for a bit. Diana ignored it and took Usagi's hand. Do you trust me? I need you to do this, no matter what. Usagi looked to her eyes, and again, he seemed to give her a warm feeling that things would be all right. She nodded. Okay, then. She drew the silver crystal out of her chest, and immediately the darkness of chaos consumed it. Well, end of it, guys. Time to see you next time. Okay, Turk, she really doesn't think he bought it.